The West Fertilizer Company has coexisted with nearby homes for decades, but some residents have felt uneasy about its location so close to their properties. They, in fact, filed complaints as far back as 2006. And Gaviola is in our newsroom checking into the plant's safety record. It is an old plant. And what have you found out about its record?
That's right, Suhanna. So before we get into the record, you mentioned its proximity to a residential area. This is an aerial view. This is the West Fertilizer plant in question. Have a look at how close it is to an apartment complex and some housing right over here. So this was part of the great concern surrounding all of this. Now, let's go back to those dramatic pictures. There were reports back in 2006 that the Environmental Protection Agency fined the West Fertilizer Company for failing to have a risk management plan in place that satisfied or met federal safety guidelines. Essentially, a plan to make sure that chemical accidents didn't happen and that there were enough safeguards in place. Records show that there was a $2,300 penalty leveled against the company. This was in August of 2006. Now, after that, the company agreed to meet all these federal standards. They set about creating a plan. There were no further fines after that. Now, it is important to note that today, the U.S. Chemical Safety Board is investigating the site. One of the concerns is a chemical called anhydrous ammonia, among the very potentially harmful chemicals that were housed in this particular plant. Suhanna?
Those chemicals, lots of them used to make fertilizer. Just how dangerous are they?
That's right. They are potentially very dangerous, quite common as well. Now, the problem is that when combined with water, it becomes highly explosive. You may recall some of the first responders to the plant were there to deal with a fire situation. Now, experts say when you combine water with anhydrous ammonia, there is the potential for a great deal of combustion. They're not necessarily saying that that is exactly what happened, but that is definitely one of the theories out there. Let's talk a little bit more about this chemical. It has the potential to rapidly cause dehydration and severe burns in the body, very unpleasant. It can make breathing difficult if you come in contact with this low-lying vapor. Irritation of potential as well to the eyes, nose, and throat. And exposure to high amounts can lead to death. I already mentioned the potential there for the combustion that is definitely an issue for those first responders. Now, officials say that currently, as it stands right now, the situation in and around the area is under control in terms of it not being a threat to the general public at this point. No issues in terms of air quality. Suhanna?
Thank you so much, Anne.
You bet.